The godfather of AI has dropped some scary truths.
Right, pulled from a recent interview.
Yeah, and he's got some, stark views on how fast AI is moving and what that really means for jobs, for businesses, like right now. So our goal here is really to unpack his thoughts, figure out what's crucial for you listening to understand today.
And what jumps out immediately from Hinton is this idea that AI is targeting what he calls mundane intellectual labour.
Mundane intellectual labour.
Yeah, the fact that the Industrial Revolution machines took over physical muscle work. He's basically arguing AI is now starting to replace certain thinking tasks, routine ones.
That's a powerful way to put it. And he gives examples, right? He doesn't just leave it vague.
No, not at all. He points to jobs heavy on, routine information processing or analysis. Think paralegals doing standard document review, maybe accountants doing basic calculations, call centre staff handling predictable questions.
So if your job involves a lot of repetitive mental steps, that's the area he sees as most vulnerable.
Exactly, that's the bullseye. But then contrast that with jobs needing, say, complex physical skills or really unpredictable human interaction.
Like what?
Well, he actually mentioned plumbing kind of humorously.
Plumbing, okay. I've flushed a few toilets in my time.
Yeah, but like fixing a tricky leak under a sink, that often needs weird angles. You run into unexpected situations. You have to improvise. That kind of physical dexterity, dealing with the unpredictable physical world, AI and robots still find that really, really hard.
Right, so it's not just any job, but specifically those that feel a bit like intellectual assembly lines.
Precisely. And here's the kicker, the part that really makes you sit up. Hinton insists this isn't sci-fi. It's not some distant future thing.
It's happening now.
It's impacting people today. He told this story, right, about a CEO he knew.
Oh yeah, the workforce reduction.
This CEO apparently cut their work.
They cut their workforce almost in half. Why?
Because these new AI agents, basically smart program, could handle something like 80% of customer service issues.
80%. Wow, that's huge. And that story really connects to his other point about the speed, right? A fundamental difference in how AI learns.
Absolutely. That's core to his argument. Humans, we learn slowly. We share knowledge through language, which is actually pretty limited in bandwidth, bits per second. Digital AI, totally different. If one AI model learns something, it can be complicated. It can be copied instantly across millions of others. He talks about transferring knowledge at trillions of bits per second.
Wait, hang on. Trillions compared to our, few bits per second with talking?
It's an almost unimaginable difference in scale and speed. It means learning is collective and instantaneous for AI. One figures it out, they all know it. No forgetting, no need for individual retraining.
Okay, so that explains how they get so capable so fast. Performing complex tasks that just a little while ago we thought only humans could do.
Exactly. Things like navigating complex online ordering systems on the fly, or even writing decent functional code. We're seeing that already.
And naturally, that kind of capability points to massive efficiency boosts across so many fields: healthcare, data analysis, education.
For sure, huge potential upside in efficiency. But like you touched on, there's the flip side. What happens to the people whose jobs involve those tasks?
Yeah, that's the big question looming.
But there's another immediate risk. Hint and flag stemming from that same speed and power. Something businesses need to do. Something we need to worry about right now.
Which is?
Cyber attacks.
Ah, yes. How is AI changing that landscape? Because it feels like we hear about breaches all the time anyway.
It's pouring fuel on the fire. Hinton mentioned this frankly terrifying statistic. A 12,200% increase in phishing attacks just between 2023 and 2024.
12,000. How is AI driving that?
It makes it incredibly easy, almost trivial for bad actors to create super convincing scam emails, to clone voices for phishing scams, to generate deep fake videos for fraud. It lowers the bar for creating sophisticated attacks dramatically.
So it's not just more attacks. They're getting much harder for the average person or even trained employees to spot.
Exactly. They look and sound real. But the deeper concern, the one Hinton seemed really worried about, is the potential for AI to invent entirely new kinds of cyber attacks.
New kinds? Like what?
That's the scary part we don't know. Attacks that exploit vulnerabilities humans haven't even thought of yet. Because AI can probe systems and find weaknesses far faster than any human security team. That's a whole new level of threat.
Okay, so we have job displacement, accelerates capabilities, and this escalating cyber risk. Taking a step back, what's the biggest societal picture Hinton paints?
Well, he expressed real concern about wealth inequality. It's a logical consequence, isn't it?
How so?
If these huge productivity gains from AI mostly flow to the people who own the AI or the companies deploying it aggressively, while lots of workers get displaced,
Then the gap between the haves and have-nots just gets wider.
potentially much wider, especially if there isn't a plan, retraining, support, universal basic income, whatever it might be to handle that transition.
So let's try and wrap this up for you listening. The message from Hinton seems pretty clear. This AI-driven shift, especially impacting that mundane intellectual labour, isn't on the horizon. It's here.
Yeah, it's happening now. And the speed is key. Digital intelligence learns and scales in a way fundamentally different from us.
Which forces a tough question for everyone. Individuals, businesses. What's the smart play?
Hinton doesn't give easy answers, but his perspective definitely suggests focusing on skills AI can't easily replicate yet. Deep creativity, complex physical interaction, genuine empathy, handling true ambiguity and unpredictability.
Or maybe learning how to work alongside AI, using it as a tool.
That too. Adapting roles because, as you said, the era of just doing routine intellectual tasks might be winding down.
Right. So the challenge really is figuring out what uniquely human contributions look like going forward and how we all prepare for that. Definitely it's something to keep thinking about.